We're doing all right. We're 5-2. Are we 5-2? We're 5-2. This is round 8 of 9. Let's see if we can keep up the good work. What do we have here? We have no force of will, no moxen. We have not much. Not gonna lie to you. This hand doesn't seem to do much for us. Probably putting it back. There were 256 players in this event, Devin, which makes it the largest vintage event of all time, but it's obviously smaller than Legacy. But this was also 3 a.m. Eastern time and midnight on the West Coast. So yeah, this hand is not keepable against any deck in the format. All right, we're gonna mulligan. This is a keep. Let's bottom a Tundra. All right, what are you playing this week? Exhale. What are you playing? Uh-oh. That's a problem. This one's not worth forcing over, especially if they end up being on HogaakVine and I need to like counter a misdirection. This is not the kind of hand I like to see against the bizarre opponents. This is a good hand against like more of the fair blue decks, but opponent finds a foil Bazaar of Baghdad. Let's see. Is it Hogaak or is it Squee? Hey, June. Oh, sweet. I appreciate that. So it is Hogaak. Ball Therapy, Bloodghast, Emerald. You're going to play a Deathrite Shaman off the Emerald? I'm going to let it happen. I only have 3 cards in hand. If our Ancestral is good, this is a winnable game. That's a great draw. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fetch a non-basic or a basic land so that I can't get wastelanded. I haven't decided how I'm gonna play out these Moxen yet. I would rather not get Vigored, but we do have Vigor covered. So this draw is a little bit better against Hogaak than it is against HogaakVine for sure. They had Mental Misstep, bro. All right, well we're gonna force it because we need to try to win the game. I'm a little worried we're gonna get our PO therapied, but there's not much I can do about it, I think. So the big problem here is if my opponent's last 2 cards are Force of Vigor and Green card, I'm gonna lose my Lotus and my top. So what I think I'm gonna do is not play my Lotus. I'm gonna just play Sapphire top. That way, I'm a little better insulated against Force of Vigor. I am a little scared that this Bloodghast is gonna become a therapy, and they are just gonna blind name Paradoxical Outcome. Waffling says, "Is Card Titan not streaming for this weekend?" No. So Card Titan is not running this event. This event is run by Wizards of the Coast. I'm doing all right, Breva. How are you? I'm actually not doing too bad. I got a little sleep in before the event, and we had a little caffeine. I have a nice big chat all night, so it's been really easy to talk to people and stay awake. So. There's a chance we're more insulated versus therapy if we don't play out top, but I think you want to play top and better utilize your mana and make it so your PO has more use on the next turn. You really need to make sure that your POs are not going to be any good unless this top is in play, really. So, um, it's also like not super easy for opponent to afford to therapy. Like if they assume they don't have an Hogaak or something, right? If they don't hit like a fetch land for the Bloodghast, it's not the greatest for them to therapy away your Bloodghast. Not easy to hit lands every turn as Hogaak. Yeah, I mean, I go into most matches assuming my opponent knows what I'm playing just because I'm very vocal about what I'm playing everywhere. So, opponent is exiling my land to cast a Collector Oof. Please don't cast a Collector Oof. Please don't cast a Collector Oof. Okay, Stitcher Supplier. This could go badly. If this is Vengevine, it's really annoying. If it's Hogaak, it's really annoying. See what happens. Let's see what happens. Hits another Bloodghast. Okay, that's not the worst. Opponent only has one card in hand. They have a therapy. I guess they can therapy away the Stitcher Supplier if they're interested in doing that to get rid of my PO. Looks like they're going to try to do that. They hit a Hogaak. So if they have a land that they're sandbagging in their hand, then they can get back both Bloodghast and cast Hogaak, which is insane. It's 256 play. So let's see if they blind name PO here. They probably should. I think Tinker is also a reasonable name. I think Force of Will is a reasonable name. They named PO. It's fair. I guess Force of Will is not super reasonable with 2 gone. So let's see if they have a land. Wow, they had a strip mine. That's so fucked up. Not only did they have a land, but they had the I tried to play around Wasteland and I got fucked anyways. Okay, so they're gonna get a Hogaak here, which is gonna greatly reduce the amount of time I've spent living. I need to find a worthwhile spell. I think we want to spin. Oh man. We kind of want to find a Yogwill. Do we want to spin an upkeep? Is the question. We see technically more cards if we draw than spin, and then let's see if we need to fetch or not. But we have a better chance of tinkering with top in play if we just find it on the first 3. I'm gonna spin upkeep, I think. Demonic, that's Tinker. Or Yogwill. So the problem is if I give them a turn, my Tinker is going to not be very good. I only have 4 mana currently. I have a Mox Pearl on the top of my library though, so if I take Pearl, Demonic, Lotus, and we just gotta go for it. Oh, let's see how lucky we are with the top of our library here. Do we want to fetch? Probably not. Does thin, but it's also an extra life. Probably not. Citadel finds Jet. Good start. Ponder, hold priority. Nice. Yogwill, that should be lethal. That should be game. So if we demonic for a mentor, maybe we just want to tinker for a top. Or we can just start by POing. We can start by ancestraling. I mean, the first thing we want to do is if we're going to PO, the first thing we should do is ancestral. That way we can draw more Moxen. More Moxen. Where's my blue Moxen? priority. All right, that's game. I'm gonna PO one more time, and then we'll demonic fermentor. It doesn't matter what you do from here. I might have even drawn mentor. I didn't. Should hit the blind. And we just make all our monks. And we go to our time walk turn and kill them. It doesn't really matter how you I prefer to just draw my whole deck to start, or not my whole deck, but like most of my deck, and then I just mentor play out. You don't want to like put mentor in too early and have to put too many triggers on the stack. So, all right, we got there. Very nice. The spin of the top was very good, finding both demonic and another mana source. Pretty lucky, I would say. Yeah, I have a very high, a very nice spin by all accounts. So Sphinx, Needle, Swords, Balance, Disenchant, and then Bluster, Remora, Opal, Yo, or Night's Whispers, Narsets. And then let's figure out which one of these is the best ones that we can keep. I guess we can keep Yo Opal. And then we'll pick out Narset, one Opal, Clusters, Remoras, Night's Whispers. I'm gonna leave in both combos. I guess there's like no real reason to leave in both combo pieces when Sphinx is an automatic win every time. I mean, there's got to be a draw where Sphinx isn't the. I don't think there is a draw where Sphinx isn't the automatic win. Sphinx is. What are you talking about? This is like one of the big reasons to play Sphinx. They just can't race Sphinx. I've literally never had that happen. It has First Strike, Lifelink, Pro colors, and Vigilance. It's impossible to race. I guess we'll leave both. We played against Hogaak earlier today, right? You go back and look what I did. Oh god, this is a risky hand against Hogaak. They could easily go Collector Roof or Deafening Silence on turn 1, but this hand is so powerful, I don't think you could ever... I don't think you can... It's not like Shops where they're very likely to play a Sphere on turn 1. I guess they're like decently likely to play a Silence. Like against Shops, I wouldn't keep this, but against Hogaak, it seems like they're way less likely to play a Silence on turn 1 or an Oof on turn 1 than Shops is to play a Sphere. And this hand is just like super powerful, right? I guess this hand's not super powerful if they have a Force of Vigor, but maybe it's too much risk. Because if they have a Force of Vigor, I go Mox Pearl Soul Ring and then try to cast an Opal. They Vigor my two things, and I don't have any colored mana. So maybe that's actually too risky. So now I have to dodge Force of Vigors 4 of, Deafening Silence 4 of, Collector Oof 2 to 4. That's probably too much. This is probably too greedy, I think. Then let's mulligan. This matchup's so favorable. I don't want to lose out on it by being too risky, I think. Sure, I could lead Opal Pearl and save my Soul Ring. I still don't have blue mana though. That is the correct lead. Obviously, you would go Opal Pearl Soul Ring. That way the Soul Ring is not. I just don't think that it's just so risky. Risky. So if we do resolve all of our things, then we get a demonic tutor and then an ancestral. Or sorry, do we have a tinker? Do we have mana to tinker? We have one. Do we have 4 mana? We are 1 short on tinker. I'm gonna mulligan this hand, I think. I think it's like the same philosophy as when you're playing against shops. And I wouldn't keep this hand versus shops. So they also could have mind break traps. This is true too. Depends on what kind of sideboard they play. Yeah, I'm keeping this hand for sure. I'm gonna put the. What am I gonna put back? What am I gonna put back? I guess the highest upside thing is to just put back probe. If I have to force, obviously I lose my PO, and that's all my spells though. So maybe I can't. What if I put back mentor? Is that possible here? Mentor is one of the single most important cards in the matchup, but this hand obviously can't cast mentor, and it's looking at a turn 1 PO. I kind of think I'm supposed to put back mentor, to be honest. Kind of awkward. Let's do it though. Kind of weird. Yeah, let's see what they do. So let's see if they play turn 1 silence or turn 1 oof. We're definitely not putting back force. Not with the way opponent's deck is built versus us in games 2 and 3. We need to be able to have turn 1 force of will for deafening silence to keep this hand. Not to keep this hand, but for this hand to be good. So what we're really hoping for is just to draw like a Moxen or a top. A top is a great draw. If we draw a top, then we can go Mox top. Then we have force backup, and we have PO mana off of Academy. PO for 4. Try to go off through that. So they hit Therapy, and they hit Vengevine. Interesting that they're playing Therapies. It was pretty good last game, and will be pretty good here if they name PO again. Are they just going to go for it? Are they going to go for force? Or are they going to go for PO? Maybe we should just counter this probe? Or counter this? I feel like we have a very low chance of winning if they take our paradoxical outcome. So I might as well just counter this. Not happy about this, but the problem is if they take PO, we just have nothing going for us. I think they're going to play a hollow one and bring back Vengevine this turn. It's a 9-round tournament. Oh, that's so bad. That is the worst possible outcome. So it was a bait. They could have just named Force and then slammed a Chalice on us. Sure. This is not in every HollowVine list of HogaakVine sideboard, but it's obviously stupid good versus us. I'm not going to expose my Tolarian Academy to Wasteland, so I'm just going to wait for a regular land to draw Ancestral. Or to play Ancestral. Yo, what's up, Conko? Yeah, it's not good for me, but it's not bad. We can still win this game. How many repeals did I leave in? I have a Disenchant and a repeal. Or a Disenchant and 2 repeals. I have Disenchant and 2 repeals? Yeah. Yeah, if they were probably naming Force, but I still would have at least liked the draw from Probe. All right, so opponent wasn't able to return Vengevine this turn or Hogaak, but they're probably closing in on it. Land. Not ideal. This is still a winnable game for sure. This is definitely a winnable game. We need to draw land, obviously. We probably needed to draw land last turn, to be perfectly fair. The minute they get a Hogaak and play, the clock becomes extremely fast. Good morning, Aaron. I still think I like our keep, and I like our choices. It just didn't work out. Not too bad. 5-2, so we've been winning a lot. Playing okay. Lost once to variance, and lost once to probably me not playing very well. So, about normal. Yeah, even if we draw a land this turn, and we cast Ancestral, we still can't get our Mox into play. So we kind of need opponent to fade a Hogaak on this turn so that I can Ancestral into a repeal this Chalice, and go off. So it's winnable. It's winnable. I think opponent has to. I think we have to fade Hogaak this turn, though. Oh, we're dead. So now opponent gets Hogaak and Vengevine. So that's lethal. Because now we don't have enough turns. Yeah, I mean, if we drew repeal right now, we still couldn't cast it. So it's not like we actually would have to draw land into repeal, and then on that turn you could repeal the Chalice and then play the Academy and multiple Moxen and try to tinker. But we just don't have enough turns here. So we found the land. 8, 12. It's just not enough. There's nothing I can actually draw here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think I like the choice we made for mulligans, and I think I feel like forcing the Cabal Therapy to try to hit PO to protect our PO is fine because they're going to take Force of Will for the Chalice line anyways. So I see what you're saying. Yeah, if we drew repeal for that turn, then we would want to play our Academy so that we could play the land. Though that wouldn't really work out if they had Wasteland, which they did. But I still think that our sideboard plan is fine. Still pretty happy about this. Let's do it. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. All right. Now we're on the play. Let's see if we can't find something powerful to do. I mean, mulligans matter a lot when your cards are this powerful, especially when London Mulligan forever changed how powerful mulliganing can be. I mean, we're doing this. We're going to play around Vigor, I think. Oh, God. The biggest problem with playing around Vigor is that it opens us up to Silence and Oof, but we're doing it. So we can play Land, Jet, Mana Vault, which means we can't get Vigored. We're going to fetch a basic first. And then I think we're going to pass to their turn. I don't want to lose to Vigor. Well, let's see. If I get Vigored, can I still Tinker? No, I can't Tinker. Well, actually, I could still Tinker, so actually we might be able to just jam. If I go for no, I guess they would hit both my Moxen instead of my Mana Vault. And if they hit both my Moxen, I'm 2 turns from being able to Tinker. It's too many, because I would actually have to draw Moxen off the top or another land off the top for the first turn. I guess I could always rebound by going Mystical for Ancestral. So that's a pretty reasonable reason. I guess another thing to play around is possible Mindbreak Trap. We should go look at the latest Cabal Therapy list and see what kind of sideboard cards it's playing. I haven't seen a therapy list in a while. Go take a quick look. HogaakVine. See about Lantrell's list. Plays 3 therapies. So in the sideboard, it had 1 Chalice, 3 Deafening Silence, 3 Collector Oof, no Mindbreak Trap, 4 Vigor's main. So that's another problem, is if they do have their Chalice again, and I PO on their turn, they can just Chalice me, or they can Deafening Silence me, and I can't rebuild. I actually think we are looking like this hand is going to be a just go for PO hand, especially seeing as it's unlikely for opponent to have Vigor. I guess we still can Mystical Tutor because the PO will still pick up the Mana Vault. All right, I actually like how this is going then. We're just going to jam. Make them have it. They're certainly acting like they have either Once Upon a Time or Negation. So if we do this, the Mana Vault comes back into our hand on our upkeep. So we'd be on turn 3 where we would be able to tinker. See what it does when I go to second main. Nothing. But stepping through. But we have 1 extra mana, right? So we can just replay Vault so we can tinker on the second turn, right? Yeah, let's battle. You have a Vigor? Looks like it. No Vigor. Great for the home team. You gotta make them have it sometimes. Alright, so I have a force if I needed a force for some reason, but I'm gonna look at spin options, and we have likely Mystical for Tinker with a Citadel, or a top and Citadel, so this should be pretty reasonable. What would we have to force? We would have to force a Collector Roof. We wouldn't typically have to force a Deafening Silence, because what we could do is go for Sphinx. Yep, we can top for a blue card. Absolutely true. See how good their turn is. How many Vengines? They found a hollow one from their Once Upon a Time. They found a Hogaak and a Rootwalla. Not the worst for us, especially if we're looking to Citadel. Obviously, they could find a Force of Vigor now, which makes the which presents some problems with going for a Citadel line. Right? So if they found a Force of Vigor on that turn, we could lose our Citadel. Wow. Fortunately, I don't think any of those are actually going to help us very much, so. Maybe we get Vigored on... I guess we wouldn't get Vigored on upkeep. That's just running into another PO for no reason. I mean, technically, we could go for a PO as well, but we don't have an extra blue. We don't have an Opal or a Sapphire, so it's not very good. I don't think there's any reason not to just go for Tinker here. If we really feel worried about Vigor, we could get Sphinx, but that seems like not as good, but it is kind of the reason we have it. We also can spin and look for a blue card for Force, so we should be fine. Now they might Vigor us, but yeah, they could Vigor us now. All right, they didn't. So I'm just gonna go for this Mana Vault. I'm gonna go for Citadel here. I don't think this is where you go for Sphinx. Maybe it is. It's just so slow. I'm going for Citadel. I'm gonna not activate this top so that I can draw a blue card underneath it if needed. Spin into a blue card. All right, we're good here. So can I play Mentor? No. I'm walk. All right, that's game. I can't demonic before this. Nice. All right. 6-2. Keep the train a rolling. Oh no, Brian took 2 in a row. Amir 7-1, and Ben 7-1, and Julian 7-1. Wow. My God, my breakers are so bad. Brian's still 6-2 as well. Mark 6-2. Gary 6-2. Wow. Powerful people at the top of this bracket. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I need to rest him.